The following is a presentation of William Patterson University Television.
Welcome back to the desk. The NBA season is in its final stretch, and teams around the league are trying to claw their way back into a playoff spot. Here to discuss it all, we got Nijee, Bijan, Marc, and Phritz. You know, Marc, I'll start off with you, a team that you're very fond of, a team that you're very familiar with. The Memphis Grizzlies got some injuries. Steven Adams, Morant's been a lot of drama now lately. Talk to us about their success with and without John. What's been going on there?
You know, Ja is such an integral piece of the Grizzlies right now. You know, we'll take a look at the stats here in a second. You know, with Ja, Grizzlies are 34-19, without 5-7. You know, points per game with Ja, 116.2, 112.5 without, 25 assists with him. Less assists, which is weird when you have your starting point guard not on your team. But, you know, overall, Ja's such an important piece. And for him to get in trouble like this, you know, suspended for 50 games, it's going to be tough to see how the Grizzlies go about replacing him. You know, Tyus Jones is a solid backup option, but ultimately it's going to be hard to win games without Ja.
You know, definitely a pivotal piece. Nijee, what are you seeing in Memphis?
The pretenders. They were already pretenders to begin with because their record away from home was worse than the Warriors. The Warriors are 7-23 away from home. They are 6-24. I'm not good with the stats, but I'm like right there. It was like a wake-up call for them. The Grizzlies needed, Ja Morant, they needed this moment to realize, okay, let's get our act together and let's start actually working as a team, because they just had to play a meeting last week before Ja Morant stuff. So this is more of a wake-up call.
Bijan, what do you think?
It's just stupid what he did. You know, you can't be posting, the firearm on the IG Live. It seems like he's just throwing away his career, and I just hope he cuts out all the bad people in his life because he's just too talented to just be thrown away. Such potential to potentially be one of the best guards in the league. So I just hope he gets whatever help he needs.
Yeah, definitely want to see him get back on the court. Phritz, what are your thoughts?
Oh, yeah, of course it's unfortunate what happened, but of course we hope that Ja Morant, learns from this mistake, because he is one of the most electrifying players in the NBA. He's great for the league when he's on the court, and he has to realize that he has the potential to carry the league to its next steps. LeBron's about to retire. We have a new generation of superstars, and he's definitely going to be one of the main faces of the league for years to come.
You definitely want to see him get back on the team to help make a playoff push. I'd love to see a first-round match with them and the Warriors. I think that would be very fun to watch. But Phritz, I will keep it with you. A team that's had a little bit better luck as of late, a team that has been making me a lot happier than usual. The New York Knicks have been on a surge. They're ascending to the top of the Eastern Conference. Are they a contender? What's been the key piece to their success?
Well, I don't know about a contender, but New York basketball is definitely back, and watching them has been so great to see. And the main factors for this is the duo between Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. If you can look at the stats now, one of the main things that I feel like Jalen Brunson has added to this team is giving Julius Randle the opportunity to just be a scorer. I mean, last year he was kind of playing an awkward point forward role, and I feel like he can play make, but he shouldn't be the primary ball handler. Only two players in the league right now have more points in isolation this year than Julius Randle. Having Jalen Brunson now allows him to just focus mainly on scoring, and that's been great for the Knicks. 9-game winning streak recently. They just lost, but they're doing great in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, definitely doing great. Definitely going to face the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's going to be interesting to see if they can get the 4-5. Nijee, your favorite team, how they've been doing? What have you liked seeing?
First thing first, I said this early in the season. I said the Knicks are going to be the 5th seed, and where they are right now, they're the 5th seed. So, but what I'm gonna say is,
you said a lot of things about the Knicks.
Yeah, I definitely did. My key factor for them is their defense. Ever since they got Josh Hart, they've really been a rebuild of a team, like a remade of a team. Just straight defense, and this whole run when we Miami and Boston twice, strictly defense.
Marc, what do you like out of MSG?
I like the bench play, specifically Emmanuel Quickley. His minutes have jumped 30 minutes per game now, 17 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3.5 assists. He's a scorer. That's what he does. 47% from the field, 40% from 3. He's playing great ball, and he's a big reason why the Knicks are winning.
Yeah, definitely a big reason. Balled out in that Boston game, Marc.
Absolutely. 55 minutes.
Insane. Bijan.
The main factor for me was their offense. Most people would say their defense, but their defense is going to be good because they're a Tom Thibodeau-led team. But I believe since post-All-Star break, they have the second best offensive rating, and they're not even a good three-point shooting team. So they're kind of breaking analytics in a sense, because with Brunson and Randle like the ISO, get to their spots in the mid-range, and they've just been so good at that. And you have Josh Hart quickly, and other role players hitting their threes, they can make up for Brunson and Randle being more mid-range oriented.
Yeah, that run that they went on with Josh Hart, a big reason for a great move, moving on from Cam Reddish as well. Wasn't quite fitting in the Thibodeau system. But Bijan, a team that you're very familiar with, the Lakers, LeBron went down. looked like their season was over, and they're staying afloat. What do you like seeing from Anthony Davis? He's been a big key piece, playing like that monster that he should be.
Well, he's been what we all expect AD to be. He's been a monster. Since LeBron's been out these past 4 games, he's been averaging 29.6. Without LeBron, he's been averaging 29.6 points per game, 15.2 rebounds per game, 2.4 blocks per game, shooting 53.1% from the field. He's being AD when he was on the Pelicans and bubble AD. He's looking like his old self. And you have role players stepping up and doing their part, like Jared Vanderbilt, Austin Reeves. And you're getting D'Lo coming back. The Lakers are ready to go on a run.
Phritz?
Yeah, definitely one of the main players that BJ just mentioned is Jared Vanderbilt. I mean, Anthony Davis is doing what Anthony Davis does. It's not surprising me. The main thing with him has always just been health. Jared Vanderbilt is changing the defense for them, having a long, athletic wing defender that can lock up on the primary scorer for the opposing team, where people like LeBron James or Anthony Davis don't have to exhaust themselves to, guard and defend them. I would like to see when LeBron is coming back. I know he's going to be reevaluated within, I think, 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. But I think that with the run that they're on now, they can stabilize and get into the play-in. Championship aspirations are, rely on LeBron coming back. If LeBron's not there, championship shots are shot. But with LeBron coming back, D'Lo being there, Anthony Davis playing the way they are, anything's possible with the West being as wide open as it is right now.
Yeah, definitely the West is wide open. Nijee, Lakers have slipped into that play-in bubble. So do you think it's sustainable with the player they're getting from AD? What do you expect from that?
AD is a 30 and 15 player. He's always been showing this throughout his whole career. And there ain't no difference, especially when they're now with a decent lineup, a decent team around him. They supposed to be, even like the rest of us right now, they could be in a 6th seed in like 4 more games if they go on a nice win streak. Just saying. So AD doing what he had to do, and what he was supposed to be doing when he got to Lakers.
Be nice to see if he could do it on the court with LeBron. They're both very rarely healthy since they won that championship. Marc, do you think it's sustainable?
I mean, it's hard to say it's sustainable, of course. When you lose LeBron, you're losing LeBron James, one of the best basketball players of all time. The best. But I know how you feel about that. But it's hard to say it's going to be sustainable when you have just Anthony Davis, really doing the offensive score work.
Yeah. So Anthony Davis, absolutely great to see him on the court. His nose was like the size of a grapefruit. He got elbowed. He got elbowed the other day. It's still balled out, so that was great to see.
Against my Grizzlies.
But the moves by Rob Pelinka have really made a difference at that trade deadline. Moving forward now, keeping it in the West, the Suns, the Mavericks. Talked a lot about Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving once they got shipped out of Brooklyn. These two teams looking to make a push in the finals. Nijee, I'll throw it with you. Which team do you think has a better chance of making a run?
The Suns, honestly, because their whole team. When you add Kevin Durant, your team becomes a super team. Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, and DeAndre Ayton is as your 4th option is like most teams' dreams. But they might face the Dallas Mavericks in the first round. And the Dallas Mavericks gave them problems last season. Like Luka gave them the problems. And that'd be a fun matchup to watch. But at the end of the day, I'm going to give it to the Suns because they too stacked. And the Dallas have too much problems on defense.
Marc, do you see the Suns as that legitimate contender?
Potentially, but I don't know. Every time I see a super team, besides the Warriors a couple years ago, it doesn't really work out that much. A lot of ego is there. So I'm going with the Mavericks. I think that I trust in the playmaking of Kyrie Irving. I trust in the scoring of Luka Doncic. I just think that overall they can have a better run.
Phritz, what do you think?
If anything has been proven from our second Kevin Durant super team that we saw with Harden, Kyrie, and him, is that you can't just plug 3 people together and expect for it to all work. I mean, we're basically seeing that already happening in Phoenix, and they gave up their entire bench. I mean, Micheal Bridges is no scrub. Cam Johnson is no scrub. They gave all of that away for Kevin Durant, who is out with the ankle injury. I mean, he just slipped and fell and sprained his ankle. So for the foreseeable future until the playoffs, he will be out. I don't know how the Suns can, because, Chris Paul is aging. He's not what he used to be. So you just have Devin Booker and Ayton. So I think that the Mavericks, with Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic finding their stride together just recently now, I feel like they can make a run. With Kevin Durant coming back, then we'll see. But right now, I think the Mavericks are the better team.
Well, Kevin Durant coming back, I think that will make the biggest difference. Bijan, close us out.
I think the Suns win a series against the Mavericks in 6 games. It's just a better overall team. And I'm very worried about the Mavericks' defense. They don't have enough good defenders to guard KD and Booker. And even though it'll be a very competitive and chippy series because of the Luka and Booker rivalry, and now you add KD and Kyrie, whatever they got in the mix, I just think the Suns are overall the better team, even though I would love to see Booker and Luka talk trash to each other in playoff series when it matters most.
Can I say one more thing before we go? last year we seen Luka gave the Suns the business game 6 and 7.
Right.
I'm not saying he might do the same thing, but I'm saying it's gonna be hard for him to do that when you got a guy like KD who make your team. It don't matter what you pick KD at, his ego is the same. He want to play basketball and he need the ball all the time. That's why the Suns team is like the new Warriors team back from 2018.
Yeah, both teams with these trades, the offense is going to be very potent, but the benches, that depth is going to be really something to see. Not something that teams like maybe the Nuggets have potentially, the Clippers have maybe a little more depth. So it's going to be interesting to see that dynamic. But the star power is certainly there. But as we close the star power here with the NBA, we move things over to star power with the World Baseball Classic as Anthony and the guys break it down for the first time ever here on WP Sports Desk.